The story of money in the land we now call Pakistan begins a very long time ago. Before there were any kings with their faces on coins, people used simple pieces of silver for trade. These were not round and perfect like the coins we use today. Instead, they were odd-shaped bits of metal. We call them punch-marked coins. Imagine a silversmith taking a flat piece of silver and using a special tool, like a stamp, to press a small picture onto it. These tiny pictures were symbols, not words or portraits. They could be pictures of the sun, a bull, a tree, or geometric shapes that looked like wheels. These early coins were very important for the growing towns and cities of ancient South Asia, around the 6th century BCE. They made trade much easier. Instead of trading a goat for a bag of wheat, a merchant could sell his goat for a handful of these silver pieces. Then, he could use that silver money to buy whatever he needed. Each city or small kingdom, known as a Mahajanapada, had its own set of symbols. This meant you could sometimes tell where a coin came from just by looking at the marks punched into it. These coins were a sign of a growing society, one that needed a standard way to measure wealth and pay for goods. The process of making these coins was quite simple but effective for its time. Metal workers would melt silver and pour it into sheets. They would then cut the sheets into smaller, roughly equal pieces. To make sure each piece had the right amount of silver, they would weigh them carefully. If a piece was too heavy, a small corner might be snipped off. This is why many of these ancient coins have clipped edges or irregular shapes. Once the weight was correct, the coin was ready to be marked. Several different punches were used on a single coin, creating a collection of small symbols all over its surface. These punch-marked coins were used for hundreds of years, including during the Great Mauryan Empire. They have been found all across Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. They tell us about ancient trade routes that connected far-flung regions. Finding a hoard of these silver pieces is like finding a wallet lost over 2,000 years ago. Each coin is a tiny piece of history, a silent witness to a time of busy markets, powerful armies, and the very first ideas of what money could be. They were the foundation upon which all the beautiful and complex coins of the future would be built. After the time of the simple punch-marked coins, a big change happened in the region of Pakistan. Around the 2nd century BCE, Greek kings arrived from the west. These were the successors of Alexander the Great's massive empire. They brought with them a completely new style of making money. For the first time, coins began to feature realistic portraits of the rulers. This was a powerful idea. It was like the king was putting his own face on the money to show everyone that he was in charge. These coins were a form of advertisement for the king's power and authority. The Indo-Greek coins were beautiful works of art. They were often made of silver and were perfectly round, unlike the earlier punch-marked pieces. On one side, you would see a detailed portrait of the king, sometimes wearing a helmet or a crown. On the other side, there were often pictures of Greek gods and goddesses, like Zeus or Heracles. A very special feature of these coins was that they were bilingual. They had writing in 2 different languages, Greek on one side and a local script called Kharosthi on the other. This showed that the Greek kings were ruling over a mixed population and wanted everyone to be able to read their coins. Following the Greeks, new groups of people moved into the area. These were nomadic tribes from Central Asia, known as the Indo-Scythians and later the Indo-Parthians. They saw how effective the Greek coins were and started to make their own, copying the style. Their coins also featured portraits of their kings, who were often shown riding a horse to highlight their nomadic heritage. They continued the tradition of using both Greek and Kharosthi scripts, blending their own culture with the traditions they found in their new home. The art might have been a little less refined than the Greek originals, but the message was the same. A new ruler was in town. This period was a fascinating mix of cultures, and the coins are the best proof we have. They show Greek artistic styles meeting Indian languages and Central Asian traditions. The portraits on the coins are so detailed that they give us a real sense of what these ancient kings might have looked like. We can see the shapes of their noses, the style of their beards, and the crowns they wore. These coins were not just money. They were a canvas where different cultures met and created something new and unique. They set the stage for the next great empire, the Kushans, who would take coin design to a whole new level. The Kushan Empire, which rose to power around the 1st century CE, marked a true golden age for coinage in ancient Pakistan. The Kushans controlled a vast territory that included parts of Central Asia, Afghanistan, and northern India. This empire sat at the heart of the famous Silk Road, the network of trade routes connecting China with the Roman Empire. To manage this incredible flow of trade, the Kushans needed a sophisticated and reliable currency. They minted beautiful coins in gold, silver, and copper. The gold coins were especially important for international trade, as their weight was standardized to match the gold coins of Rome. What makes Kushan coins so amazing is the incredible variety of images found on them. On one side, the coin would almost always show a portrait of the reigning emperor. Great rulers like Kanishka the Great or Vasudeva were depicted standing, often making a sacrifice at a small fire altar. They were shown wearing the traditional Kushan dress of a long coat, trousers, and soft boots. These portraits were not just about showing power, they were a statement of the king's piety and his role as the protector of the empire. The name of the king was written around the edge in a form of the Greek script. The other side of the coins is where things get really interesting. The Kushans ruled over a very diverse empire, with people of many different faiths. To appeal to everyone, they put a huge range of gods and goddesses on their coins. You can find deities from Greek traditions, like the sun god Helios. You can also find gods from Iranian beliefs, like Mithra. Most importantly, they also included deities from Indian religions, such as Shiva with his trident, and even one of the first ever images of the Buddha on a coin. This incredible religious variety shows how tolerant and multicultural the Kushan Empire was. The artistic quality of Kushan coins was outstanding. The images were carved with great skill and detail, making them miniature masterpieces. The gold coins, in particular, shine with a brilliance that speaks of the wealth and power of the empire. These coins were more than just money for buying and selling goods. They were a way for the Kushan emperors to communicate with their subjects. They spread messages about their power, their religious beliefs, and the cultural harmony of their empire. For historians and collectors today, Kushan coins are a beautiful window into a world of incredible diversity and artistic achievement. The ancient city of Taxila, located in modern-day Pakistan, has always been a treasure chest for archaeologists. For centuries, it was a major center of learning, trade, and religion. Its history is written in the ruins of its cities and the artifacts buried beneath the ground. In 2024, another incredible chapter of this history was uncovered. Archaeologists working at a site known as Bir Mound made a spectacular discovery. They found a hoard of around 2,000 bronze coins that had been hidden for nearly 2 millennia. This find created a wave of excitement among historians around the world, as it promised new insights into the past. These were not just any coins. Experts quickly identified them as belonging to the reign of the great Kushan king, Vasudeva I, who ruled around the 2nd century CE. Finding so many coins from one ruler in a single place is very significant. It confirms that Taxila was a thriving and important administrative center during the later Kushan period. The coins were likely used to pay soldiers, fund building projects, or collect taxes. This discovery helps us paint a more detailed picture of daily life and the economy in this bustling ancient metropolis, which stood at the crossroads of major trade routes connecting different parts of the world. The discovery was about more than just the coins themselves. Alongside the bronze currency, the team found other precious materials. Among them were fragments of lapis lazuli, a beautiful deep blue stone. What is truly amazing is that this stone is not found locally in Pakistan. The nearest mines for lapis lazuli are in the remote mountains of Afghanistan. Scientific analysis showed that these particular fragments dated back to the 6th century BCE, hundreds of years before the coins were made. This tiny clue tells a huge story about long-distance trade. It shows that even before the Kushans, Taxila was connected to faraway lands. Discoveries like the one at Taxila in 2024 are vital. They are like finding a time capsule that was locked away for centuries. Each coin, each fragment of stone, adds a new piece to the puzzle of our history. They provide solid, physical evidence that backs up the stories written in ancient texts. For Pakistan, finds like this are a source of immense national pride. They highlight the country's deep and rich cultural heritage, reminding us that the land has been a vibrant hub of civilization for thousands of years. These ancient coins are not just old money, they are the voices of the past, speaking to us once more. With the arrival of Islamic rule in the subcontinent, starting from the 8th century CE, the world of coinage underwent a dramatic transformation. The new rulers brought with them a very different tradition. The earlier practice of putting portraits of kings or images of gods on coins came to an end. In Islam, making images of living beings is generally discouraged. So, instead, coins became a canvas for beautiful writing. This style of artistic writing, known as calligraphy, became the main feature of Islamic coins. The metal discs were now covered in elegant Arabic script, carrying powerful religious and political messages for all to see. The inscriptions on these coins were very specific and followed a clear pattern. Typically, a coin would feature the kalima, the basic declaration of Islamic faith. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. This was a powerful statement of the new religious order. Alongside the kalima, the coins would also carry the name of the ruling caliph or sultan. This was very important, as it showed who held political power and in whose name the coins were being issued. It was a way of claiming authority and legitimacy. Finally, the coins would almost always mention the name of the mint city where it was made and the year it was struck. These details are incredibly useful for historians. By reading the coins, we can trace the expansion of different Islamic dynasties, such as the Ghaznavids and the Delhi Sultanate. We can see which cities were important minting centers and track the reign of different rulers year by year. The coins were made from various metals, including gold, silver, and copper. The gold dinars and silver dirhams were used for large transactions and trade, while copper coins, or phallus, were for everyday purchases in the marketplace. The quality of the calligraphy and the purity of the metal often reflected the power and wealth of the ruler who issued them. This new style of coinage spread all across the region that is now Pakistan. Mints in cities like Lahore and Multan produced large quantities of these calligraphic coins. For centuries, this remained the dominant style. The coins were not just practical tools for the economy, they were symbols of faith and power. They announced the presence of Islam and the authority of the Sultan to every corner of the realm. Every time a person held one of these coins, they held a piece of art that was also a declaration of religious belief and political loyalty, a stark and beautiful contrast to the portrait-filled coins that had come before. When the Mughal Empire rose to power in the 16th century, they brought a new level of artistry and standardization to the coinage of the subcontinent. The Mughals, famous for their love of art and architecture, saw their coins as miniature masterpieces. They established a highly organized and unified currency system across their vast empire. Emperor Akbar the Great played a key role in this. He introduced beautiful gold mohurs, silver rupees, and copper dams that were of a consistent weight and purity. This made trade across the empire much easier and more reliable. People knew that a rupee from Lahore was just as valuable as a rupee from Delhi. Mughal coins are famous for their exquisite calligraphy, often featuring poetic verses in Persian that praised the emperor. Some rulers, like Jahangir, briefly broke with the non-image tradition. He issued a famous series of zodiac coins. Each gold coin featured one of the 12 signs of the zodiac, like Leo the lion or Pisces the fish. On another set of rare and beautiful coins, he even placed a portrait of himself holding a wine cup. His wife, Empress Nur Jahan, also had coins issued in her name, which was very unusual for the time. These coins are highly prized by collectors today because of their beauty and rarity. The decline of the Mughal Empire led to a period of confusion, with many local states issuing their own currency. This changed completely with the arrival of the British. As the British East India Company, and later the British Crown, took control, they gradually replaced the diverse local currencies with a single, unified coinage for all of India. In 1858, after the British government took direct control, coins were issued in the name of the British monarch. For the first time in centuries, a portrait returned to the coins of the subcontinent. The face of Queen Victoria, and later other British kings, appeared on all the money. This was a powerful symbol of the new political reality. The coins of the British Raj were very different from the Mughal ones. The beautiful Persian calligraphy was gone, replaced by English script. On one side was the portrait of the British king or queen, and on the other, the value of the coin was written in English and sometimes other local languages. These coins were minted in modern industrial facilities, so they were perfectly uniform and mass-produced. They represented an era of colonial rule, a standardized system imposed by a foreign power, and they remained the official currency of the land until independence in 1947. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan was born as a new, independent nation. At first, the new country did not have its own currency. For a short period, it continued to use the coins and banknotes of British India. However, these were modified to show that they were now for use in Pakistan. The government used a simple method. They took the existing coins and stamped Pakistan on them in English. It was a temporary solution, but a necessary one, to keep the economy running while new designs were prepared. This was a time of great change, and the money in people's pockets reflected this transition from a colony to a sovereign state. In 1948, Pakistan introduced its first series of official coins. These designs were a complete break from the British colonial past. The portrait of the British monarch was removed forever. Instead, the new coins celebrated the identity of the new nation. The main design featured the famous crescent moon and star, a powerful symbol of Islam and a central part of Pakistan's national flag. On the other side of the coin was the tuffra, an elegant calligraphic monogram of the words Hukumat-e-Pakistan, which means Government of Pakistan. The value of the coin was written in Urdu, the national language, as well as in English. For many years, the coins followed the old system of annas and rupees, with 16 annas making up 1 rupee. However, in 1961, Pakistan made a major change to modernize its currency. The government decided to switch to a decimal system, which is used by most countries around the world. This new system was much simpler. The rupee was now divided into 100 smaller units called paisa. This change was made for economic reasons, to make calculations and commerce easier. New coins were issued with denominations like 1, 5, 10, 25 and 50 paisa, alongside the 1 rupee coin, reflecting this modern, logical system. Over the years, the designs and materials of Pakistan's coins have continued to evolve. Due to rising metal prices, brass and copper were eventually replaced by cheaper metals like aluminum and bronze. The designs have also been updated to feature new national symbols, such as landmarks like the Badshahi Mosque or the Khyber Pass. Pakistan has also issued special commemorative coins to celebrate important events. These rare coins might mark the 100th birthday of the nation's founder, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or celebrate a victory for the national cricket team. Each new coin tells a small part of Pakistan's ongoing story as a nation. In recent years, the story of money in Pakistan has taken a radical and surprising turn, moving from physical metal to the invisible world of digital currency. For a long time, the government was very wary of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. In 2018, the State Bank of Pakistan effectively banned them, warning that they were not legal tender and telling banks not to deal with them. This was a common reaction from many governments who were worried about the risks of these new secret coins that were not controlled by any central authority. The fear was that they could be used for illegal activities and could destabilize the official economy. However, by 2023, Pakistan was facing a severe economic crisis. The country was struggling with massive debt and came very close to being unable to pay its bills. In this desperate situation, the government decided on a bold and risky new strategy. It completely reversed its stance on crypto. In a move that surprised the world, Pakistan announced plans to use its surplus electricity to mine Bitcoin. The government even declared its intention to create a national strategic Bitcoin reserve. This was a direct challenge to the advice of international financial bodies like the International Monetary Fund, which had warned countries against adopting cryptocurrencies. To strengthen its new strategy, Pakistan began forming unusual new partnerships. In 2025, it announced a collaboration with El Salvador, another country that has embraced Bitcoin as legal tender against the wishes of the IMF. This alliance was seen as a way for both nations to support each other and create an alternative to the traditional dollar-dominated global financial system. The story got even more complex when private companies with high-profile political connections got involved. A firm linked to the family of former US President Donald Trump signed a deal with the Pakistan Crypto Council to help accelerate the adoption of blockchain technology in the country. This move into the world of secret coins is full of both promise and peril. Supporters believe it could offer Pakistan a way to achieve financial independence and protect itself from economic shocks. However, critics are deeply concerned. They worry that rushing into cryptocurrency without strong regulations could open the door to massive corruption, money laundering, and tax evasion, especially given the involvement of powerful private interests. Pakistan's journey into the digital currency frontier is a high-stakes gamble, a modern-day experiment that could reshape its economic future in ways that are still impossible to predict. Today, the long and fascinating history of coins in Pakistan has created a popular and exciting hobby coin collecting, or numismatics. For many people, collecting coins is more than just a pastime. It is a way to connect with the rich and diverse history of their land. Each coin is a small, tangible piece of the past, a story you can hold in your hand. Collectors in Pakistan search for everything from the ancient punch-marked silver pieces to the rare commemorative coins of the modern era. The thrill of the hunt and the joy of finding a long-sought-after piece make this a deeply rewarding pursuit for people of all ages. What do collectors in Pakistan look for? Some are drawn to the sheer beauty of the coins. The stunningly realistic portraits on Indo-Greek coins or the intricate calligraphy on Mughal rupees make them highly desirable. Others are fascinated by the history they represent. A single Kushan coin with an image of Buddha tells a powerful story about religious tolerance on the Silk Road. A simple copper coin from the Delhi Sultanate can help a collector trace the influence of a powerful dynasty. Rarity is another key factor. Coins that were minted in small numbers, or those from a very short-lived ruler, are especially valuable. Among the most sought-after coins are the true rarities of Pakistani numismatics. The zodiac coins of the Mughal Emperor Jahangir are legendary. Finding just one of these, with its beautiful depiction of a zodiac sign, is the dream of many collectors. The portrait coins he issued are even rarer. From the British period, coins with errors, such as a misprinted date or a flaw in the design, are highly prized. In the modern era, the special commemorative coins issued in limited quantities to celebrate national events are also very popular. These coins were never meant for wide circulation, making them difficult to find and valuable to own. Coin collecting in Pakistan is a way of preserving the nation's heritage. Collectors carefully catalogue their finds, study the history behind them, and share their knowledge with others through clubs and online forums. Markets and old bazaars in cities like Lahore, Karachi, and Peshawar are popular places where collectors gather to trade stories and search for hidden treasures. In a world that is moving rapidly towards digital payments, the physical coin remains a powerful link to our shared identity and past. It is a testament to the artists, rulers, and civilizations that have shaped the land of Pakistan over thousands of years.